whatever the hell I want. You know, he's given kind of a shitty job. He has to play a Viper, and he accepts that. He takes that role on, and he does it for his team. Meanwhile, you're over here, Kyle, just constantly bitching about the fact that you have to panel. Oh, I want to be a player, but you can't.
What do you mean? I'm loving it. I didn't mean to imply I don't enjoy your company. I think you guys are just great lads.
With great analysis.
That seems like an
great
appropriate time
personalities.
to move on, I think. Thank you very much to our 3 panel members. We're going to head to a quick break. Yeah, I always wondered, you know, Daryl being a free spirit as he is, would he respond well to that kind of coaching? But he obviously does. It's obviously what the team needed.
Yeah, it's what Daryl's kind of needed as well, like as a player. He's such a crazy chaotic player that you want to kind of play around, but
I don't think. Make them ban it, and there's other answers. I agree. I mean, the thing is, by holding it, they've given themselves the dream Terrorblade game. A reflection, like there's a Viper, a Beastmaster, and a Luna on the enemy team. Like, Rubik doesn't do a damn thing to TB. It's all right if you get some sort of, like, there's no real spell for him to steal to add burst, but like, especially with an Omni on his team, we saw LGD actually win their game against VP with Omni Terrorblade first, too. It's like, just so good.
Playoff stages, as well as, of course, the playoffs later on next week. Right now, we're on day number 2. Welcome back to the panel members. We've got our 3 erstwhile members alongside me, of course, here for the duration as well. Did you all realise that when you signed up?
Well, you're going to work the whole event?
Yeah, you're going to work the whole event, I'm afraid.
That sounds rubbish.
Together.
That
without any
worse.
changes.
I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can get someone off the panel.
Well, he's already had half a day today. I mean, what's the chances he doesn't even turn up tomorrow?
It'd be really hard to make this panel worse, but taking me off of it seemed to be successful.
Wow. Next up, gents, we've got green versus
That's
yellow.
what people thought about complexity too, Kyle.
Hey.
Ooh, hi, gods.
Whoa.
High five, thank you.
Gods. Whoa, Gods is on fire right now. Woo.
I don't know.
Anyway, OG versus Navi. These two are like fairly similar, right? In the sense that they're both on the outside looking in. They're 10th and 12th right now, which puts them outside that top 8. They both could get back in if they have a really, really big tournament.
And they're both going to get eliminated at the end of this group stage?
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Because you kind of look at these two teams, and their better days are kind of behind them right now. They don't really excite you the way they used to. They've both got world-class players in here, storied players, but they're not. What's the problem with you?
I'm just curious.
What's wrong with him?
He doesn't know what you mean by world-class. It sounds like you're talking about like the English football team.
I'm sorry, Paul. I was gonna make a joke. I was like, "Oh, you identify with that, Paul," and then you said, "It doesn't really excite you anymore, does it?"
Right.
It's just
okay.
Takes a little bit more to get you going.
Take a breather.
Nowadays.
Let's just bring it back online. We'll be fine. You can hold it together for long enough.
Like time moves faster in esports, and it's especially true in Dota. So being historically good, even historically great, really just doesn't mean a damn thing at a certain point. The game changes. There's new players that come into the scene, and things that you used to do to be able to win. Like, let's be honest. Like going back to like TI3, Alliance, winning. Can you really first pick one of 3 heroes every game and have an offlaner that's playing 2 or 3 heroes for an entire event anymore?
Sure,
That's just not realistic.
I accept your point, but they're not playing like that.
Correct. The problem is that they've built if you look at the majors that OG was able to take down, a lot of those, even though there was like a year separating a couple of those wins, the core strategy was the same. A lot of Alchemist, a lot of Naga, a lot of Terrorblade, some Invoker strats, and specifically playing around their superstar. It was like 4 guys and this one dude. And who's that one dude now? Because it seems to me like they've been game planning a lot more, even when Reza was on the team, around No-Tail, around S4. You don't have like 4 guys running in circles anymore and one dude you can count on. They're drafting a lot more balanced, and it's just a very different style of game versus, you know, hey, Alchemist has an Armlet and a Radiance. Let's go kill the towers now.
We also feel like we're in a meta where you get punished more for having bad lanes. OG used to, I feel like, not prioritize having
really good point.
Strong lanes. Like we saw that the BO5 finals in the Kiev Major against VP. Like VP won the lane stage all 5 games. It felt like they should have won that series 3-0. They end up losing 3-2.
Oh, class 4 from Virtus Pro with all that knowledge and experience. On paper, that sounds like it should work.
What's your definition of world class?
Well, the guy won majors. You didn't. Therefore, you average him world class.
I've won as
Is that
many
easier?
majors as Arteezy.
Well, yeah, it's all relative, though.
I would say world class is probably top 8, maybe if you want to limit it a little bit more, top 5 of in the world.
I mean, I think it means different things to different people, but he has the potential to be one of the best supporters in the world. He has been one of the best supporters in the world at various moments in his career.
I mean, if he focused more on his game instead of his VK game, he'd probably still be there.
Hey, he's world class on VK.
Yeah, I mean, no comment. Let's look at the draft here. Hey, look at my boys OG. I already got them. Nature's Prophet, Earthshaker.
Don't need to see the rest of the
Don't
draft.
need, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's all in on
Is
them.
this as a result of a
Finally.
conversation?
Nature's Prophet and the Gyrocopter who can make these early rotations as well.
I think it's a bit of a deny pick because if you look, Na'Vi banning out PL and Puck with a Clock Dark Willow set up already, playing against the Furion, it's very nice for them. And I think Gyro, even after a couple of nerfs, is still one of the best heroes. Also, what in the hell is that?
Yeah, what?
What is
A
that?
list of drafts or something? Who knows? There's a bunch of heroes on there.
That feels like too much information
I
in
don't-
one page.
It's not what. Yeah, that looks like a 20-page pages of draft or something in there.
That's like maybe Na'Vi as an organization is just too successful, right? So they're paying the big bucks for this massive analytical content, and they just get this. It's like trying to sue ExxonMobil, right? And they just hit you in Discovery with like thousands and upon thousands of pages of bullshit, or in this case, colorful alien-looking things.
Rubik, though, so this puts Clock as a core. General probably playing Clock.
not
Rubik,
good.
Willow as the support duo. I feel similar. I don't think you want to core Clockwork. It does give you a fast level 6, but...
If he gets a fast blade mail, he can be very
Yes.
effective against heroes like Gyrocopter. But
And if my grandmother had wheels, she would be a bicycle cap.
there's some weird jokes that comes out of that, Kyle.
It's a thing from a. Never mind.
Anyway, so
The only thing going well for Na'Vi is, I guess, that tri-lane top. Again, they're spending resources, though. You look at LeBron Dota right now. He's still level 1 on the Dark
Yeah,
Willow.
he is. But I think it's fine because OG, the Clockwork is their main point. Like, they want to get him early, but
First blood potential lifted up over the fissure. S4 going for the void himself. It is daytime, though, so not the most effective, but S4 will go down in the end. Crystallize finishes him off with that moonbeam right there. Jarek's doing all that he can, but simply not enough, so well played by Na'Vi.
yeah, it is. And Lunar Blessing, obviously, with the tri-lane, the bonus damage, it's like sitting when all.
This is a distraction. Nice Darker's like, all right, you may catch me, but it guarantees Roshan, and they might not even kill him. It's taken forever. He's so beefy. S4 is still alive, and now the support's coming, and you gotta run if you're Na'Vi. Get the hell on out of here. In comes the sleep. The BKB activated. It's just Luna right now versus the world. It seems like No-Tail will end up falling, but they get the kill in the backlands from Gyrocopter, and now Luna, not the most life to work with. That MKB is not gonna matter when she's dead. Triple
Good
kill
game.
for Sep. GG's called, and game 1 will go the way of OG. Yeah, that bait from S4 right there worked beautifully.
Jarek's one. And that's just,
Whip.
I talked about the talents, and man, Gyrocopter, the flat can talent, he actually just hit everyone that entire, even near the end, he killed off 2 supports, and then he still had flat cannon charges ready for that Luna, and guess what? That was, I don't want to say a clinic, but it was like, what's lower than it? That was like a YMCA. Like, it was like John, I don't want to be a Kyle, but it's like Michael Jordan going to the YMCA. Or
You're being a Kyle
It was
right
like
now.
Zlatan. Is that how I say it? The soccer player? Like him going to a little league game. I don't know, whatever. OG looked good.
Was he the guy that headbutted somebody?
No, that was Zinedine Zidane.
Ah, yes.
Shaker as well. You saw him. It secured S4 in that off lane.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the panel has to say. Game number 1 in the books.
Thanks very much. Yes, 10 out of 10 commentary, 0 out of 10 analogy. Work on that, Grant. We'll head back to Grant and Break, of course, for game number 2 as and when it begins. But we're going to break down the first game of the day. Carl said to you yesterday, if you were tuned in, it's all about the Furion and the Shaker this week. He's proved it could be that after that first game.
I mean, it helps when your enemies draft some hot garbage.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was it?
Basura caliente, as they say in NA. You have 0 wave clear, 0 damage. You can't take towers. You just get run over, and like,
NA draft is what you're saying.
nah, man. I mean, where is NA in the whole regional balance? But whatever that was, it's underneath.
OG looked good. as Kyle was saying, but the draft is really what made them look good, or rather Navi's draft. So still reservations about OG. I'm not really sure where their full strength is. That was always kind of the story for this initial couple of series here for OG, is that they looked pretty bad previously.
These top tier 1 teams, they'll pick a core in the first 2 often, or if not, I mean, you look at OG, they 3rd pick Gyrocopter. It just feels like Navi only want to pick Dendi and Crystallized Hero 4th and 5th. Like every single game, it's like, oh no, we got to save them
but it's the
to
same
counterpick.
heroes.
And yeah, that's the thing. They're not counterpicking. They are picking the same heroes. So I don't understand why they save their heroes consistently for last if they just want to pick the same thing over and over again.
I mean, to that point, like that's what I want to see more of. Like they won that game. It's simple. You 3rd pick Clock, you 4th pick SF. But OG, they're not dumb. They're not going to let you 2nd pick Clock and be like, oh, what do we ban? We'll give it a Lena or something. Like, they're going to say, okay, we're not going to give you this really easy and just really strong combination that just makes your laning phase work, and then you have SF Clock. It just makes sense. But, I don't know, Navi, like, run some Drow. Do some, like, give me some DP Sven or something. Or, I don't know, Quap just got buffed. Like, put our boy Dendi on the Quap. Like, let him ball out. I just don't see Dendi as a Viper player, which is part of why I'd say, put him off lane.
A lot of crazy stuff. Artstyle as well was the captain for a while. So I think you go through a lot of captains, you go through a lot of players. Well, stuff will naturally lead to experimentation because you try and figure out what works for each roster. I don't think it's worked for Navi. They have maybe small honeymoon periods where they do okay, but we haven't seen consistent results for a while.
They sell a lot of Navi's back T-shirts during those periods, I've heard.
Yeah.
To clarify, though, I don't want to take too much away from OG because the draft, if you look at their heroes, Offline Night Stalker has been super up and coming. I think Gyro's one of the best 3 cores in the patch by far. They opened Fury and Earthshaker. Their last pick is a Naga, which as a core, I've always liked. VP's done it a couple times on the offlane. You just do these fighting items. I'm surprised you can go for like some Meteor Hammer or something like that, but the Manta, you get Diffusal eventually. It's just a good hero with team fights, and you have Gyro, Fury, and Shaker. Like the game plays itself.
Ish.
What do you mean by ish?
Well, don't put me on any of them because it definitely won't play itself. I mean, this is got to keep it all relative here, Kyle. That's all I'm saying.
True, it's not Quake, and the year isn't 1994.
Unfortunately not, no. More's the pity.
Please don't forget to subscribe by clicking this button right here.